So letter formation is one of the trickiest parts of digital learning, I think, for these really emergent readers in a guided reading lesson. And so I've tried to create a slide here where they would use materials that were familiar to the classroom. Though if you're starting out with kindergartners who haven't been in the classroom yet, they might not have seen these tools. These are the these are pictures or representations of the handwriting without tears letter formation blocks. So kids can use these blocks to make letters. We could make the letter V. We could make the letter M. If you want to record, if you want to change the slide to, create more diagonals, you can just copy and then paste. We would be getting enough to make a W here. We could make an X, right? Um, so we have straight lines, we have diagonal lines, we have horizontal lines. You could make Fs, you could make Es. And again, just copying and pasting to add to this collection of letter pieces. Now, what we don't have is the curves, the big curve and the small curve. I've ordered some of these from Handwriting Without Tears, and as soon as I get them, I'll photograph them and then add them into this slide. How I would use this slide with kiddos is I would first see if there's a verbal pathway video out there, and if not, maybe I would make one. Here's a really nice one for the letter M. Um, doesn't matter necessarily what the verbal pathway is, just that it's consistent, that you're giving kids a consistent way to thinking about how they form that new letter. You also want to get kids to tell their hands what to do to make the letter. So if the letter M is formed with big line down, diagonal line down, diagonal line up, big line down. Now this may be something that after a bit of modeling by the teacher, the student could take the cursor and then try to form these letters. There's also a really nice video here. I think this is a video that I would try to replicate for my students if I were teaching handwriting. And I'm going to assume that I would have the Handwriting Without Tears workbook. My student would have that. But I love the way the teacher is using this. This teacher made a video of her giving the verbal pathway as the students are forming the letters in the book. So you could show the video to students and say, this is how I'm going to want you to do the workbook. I also like that she put a little plastic sleeve over the workbook page, turning it into a dry erase board before she had the students use it. So these are two really nice little links, and I suggest you check them out. And again, come back to this page if you're doing letters with curves, big curves, little curves. I'll add them in as I get a hold of the material. Thank you.